Ladies and gentlemen, trust is the foundation of every great relationship, every successful team, and every thriving community. But here's a question. How do we build trust in the first place? How do we make people feel safe, valued, and confident enough to invest in something larger than themselves? One of the most powerful ways we can do this is through a simple yet profound act, asking for help. Trust begins with vulnerability. At its core, vulnerability is the willingness to admit that we do not have all the answers. It's the courage to show our true selves, even when it feels risky. And in the context of leadership, teamwork, and relationships, it's the first step toward creating an environment where others feel safe to do the same. Without vulnerability, trust cannot take root, because it's through our openness and honesty that we allow others to see who we truly are. As leaders, we often find ourselves in positions where we feel we need to have it all figured out. There's a pressure to lead with confidence, to make decisions quickly and decisively, and to appear as though we have all the answers. But here's the truth. Nobody has it all figured out. The best leaders, the most effective teams, and the most successful collaborations are built not on the foundation of flawless execution, but on the willingness to be open, admit uncertainty, and ask for help when needed. Vulnerability is what allows us to build authentic connections with others, and without those connections, true trust cannot emerge. When we let our guard down and show vulnerability, we're communicating to others that it's okay to be human. We all have strengths and weaknesses, successes and failures, moments of certainty and moments of doubt. Being open about our struggles, our mistakes, and our uncertainties makes it easier for others to relate to us. It humanizes us. It helps break down the walls that often separate individuals, teams, and organizations. People don't trust perfect versions of themselves. They trust people who are real and who are willing to show their authenticity, flaws and all. This doesn't mean we should become overly self-deprecating or paralyze ourselves with insecurity. Vulnerability in leadership is about being confident enough to admit that we don't have all the answers and showing the willingness to work through challenges alongside others. It's about asking for feedback, being open to new perspectives, and acknowledging when we don't know something. When we make space for vulnerability, we give permission for others to step into that same space. They no longer have to pretend that everything is perfect, that they have it all together, or that they know everything. They can show up as their authentic selves, and in turn, trust begins to grow. Think about a time when you've been in a situation where you were able to be vulnerable, perhaps with a friend, colleague, or a leader. When that vulnerability was met with understanding, empathy, or support, it likely deepened the trust between you and the other person. Trust isn't built on perfection, it's built on shared experiences, mutual respect, and an understanding that we are all navigating this world with our own challenges. Vulnerability allows people to share their stories, their knowledge, and their insights in a way that fosters collaboration rather than competition. It invites others into the conversation and creates an environment where it's safe to explore new ideas and approaches without fear of judgment. One of the most powerful ways vulnerability shows up is in our willingness to ask for help. Too often we believe that asking for help is a sign of weakness or inadequacy, but in truth, asking for help is one of the most courageous things we can do. It signals that we value the knowledge, experience, and expertise of others. It also shows that we are comfortable enough in our own skin to lean on others without feeling threatened by their abilities. When we ask for help, we also give others the chance to contribute, to share in the collective effort. We create a shared sense of ownership, which leads to stronger teamwork and greater mutual respect. Asking for help also demonstrates a level of humility. Leaders who are willing to ask for help communicate that they don't have all the answers, that they value collaboration, and that they recognize the strengths and perspectives that others bring to the table. This humility builds trust because it shows that the leader is not trying to control every aspect of the situation, but rather is working alongside their team to achieve a common goal. Humility in leadership fosters an environment where people feel empowered to contribute their ideas without fear of being dismissed or overlooked. When leaders demonstrate vulnerability, they set the tone for an open and collaborative culture. Ultimately, vulnerability is the gateway to trust because it allows us to be real. It invites others to connect with us on a deeper level, to see us for who we truly are, and to recognize that we are all in this together. By embracing vulnerability, we create an environment where people feel safe, seen, and supported. It is through these connections that trust grows, and through trust, we can achieve incredible things together. Asking for help is often viewed with hesitation, and for many it carries an uncomfortable stigma. There's an inherent fear that asking for assistance could be seen as a weakness, an admission of incompetence or inadequacy. In a world where self-sufficiency is celebrated, the idea of seeking help can feel vulnerable, as though we are exposing our limitations to others. But this mindset only serves to reinforce the misconception that strength is synonymous with never needing help. The truth, however, is quite the opposite. Asking for help is not a weakness, it is a sign of strength. It requires courage, humility, and a willingness to grow. It reflects a desire to collaborate, learn, and evolve, not just as an individual, but as part of a collective effort. The first step in reframing this narrative is understanding that no one can know or do everything on their own. Each of us has our own set of skills, experiences, and expertise, but we are all bound by our limitations. To acknowledge this is not to admit failure, it is to embrace the reality that we all need others to succeed. Every person we interact with brings a unique perspective, and the collective wisdom of a group is far more powerful than any one individual's knowledge. When we recognize this truth, it becomes clear that asking for help is not a sign of weakness, but rather an invitation for others to contribute, to share in the responsibility, and to offer their insights. In this way, asking for help strengthens relationships and teams by fostering collaboration. When we ask for help, we open the door to deeper connections. It is a vulnerable act, but one that creates opportunities for empathy and understanding. When someone asks for help, it's often because they value the other person's perspective, expertise, or skills. This is a powerful message signaling that we trust the person enough to seek their guidance. In turn, the person offering help feels valued, respected, and empowered to contribute. This mutual exchange creates a bond built on reciprocity and trust. It shifts the dynamic from one of isolation and individualism to one of collaboration and shared effort. Moreover, asking for help is a catalyst for growth. It challenges the belief that we must figure everything out alone, or that asking for help somehow makes us less capable. In truth, asking for help is a powerful form of self-awareness. It requires us to acknowledge that we don't have all the answers, but that we are committed to learning and improving. Seeking help signals that we are willing to expand our knowledge, explore new ideas, and open ourselves to different ways of thinking. This growth mindset is not just important for our personal development, but for the success of our teams and organizations as well. When we embrace the idea of continuous learning, we encourage others to do the same, creating a culture where asking for help becomes the norm, not the exception. When we ask for help, we also model vulnerability and authenticity. In environments where people feel comfortable being open about their challenges, they are more likely to offer assistance and collaborate. Vulnerability fosters trust because it shows that we are all in this together, that we don't need to present a facade of perfection in order to succeed. This environment of psychological safety is crucial for the well-being of individuals and teams. It allows people to bring their true selves to the table, to contribute without fear of judgment, and to feel supported in their efforts. In this way, asking for help does not diminish our strength, it enhances it by creating a culture of openness and mutual support. One of the most important aspects of asking for help is the message it sends to others. It shows that we value their input and expertise, that we recognize their strengths, and that we are willing to listen and learn. When we ask for help, we give others the opportunity to shine, to demonstrate their abilities, and to contribute to the success of the team. This not only builds trust, but also fosters a sense of ownership and commitment among team members. People who feel valued are more likely to invest their time, energy, and talents into the collective effort, creating a sense of shared purpose and motivation. When you ask for help, you're doing more than just solving a problem or getting assistance for a task at hand. You're laying the groundwork for something much more profound: collaboration. Collaboration is not just about working together when there's a task to complete. It's about creating an environment where people can rely on one another, trust each other's expertise, and feel empowered to contribute to shared goals. Asking for help and making it a practice that is normalized within a group fosters a culture where collaboration thrives. It encourages people to come together, lean on each other, and create something that is greater than the sum of its parts. In such an environment, the value of teamwork, unity, and mutual support becomes evident in everything that gets accomplished. The best teams don't work in isolation or silos. They understand that they are stronger together than apart. By encouraging a culture of collaboration, leaders and team members alike can break down the barriers that typically prevent open communication and shared effort. When people feel safe to ask for help and know they will receive support, they are more likely to step forward, share their ideas, and contribute in meaningful ways. This is how teams move from simply functioning to truly thriving. Collaboration isn't just about dividing up tasks. It's about sharing insights, learning from one another, and working toward common objectives as one cohesive unit. One of the key aspects of fostering a collaborative culture is recognizing that asking for help is not a sign of weakness but a strength. It requires humility and openness, qualities that are essential to effective collaboration. When someone asks for help, it communicates a message to the rest of the team. I trust you, I value your perspective, and together we can achieve something greater. This act of asking invites others to bring their expertise and ideas to the table, creating an environment of mutual respect and shared purpose. It removes the fear of judgment because people know they won't be criticized for seeking help. Instead, they'll be met with encouragement, support, and a shared desire to find the best solution. In a culture of collaboration, asking for help becomes a natural part of the workflow. It's not a last resort or something people hesitate to do out of fear of looking incapable. It's simply part of how things get done. When it's normalized, people understand that no one person has all the answers, and everyone is responsible for contributing their knowledge and skills. This mindset shifts the team's focus from individual achievement to collective success. It creates a sense of unity and accountability where each person's contribution is recognized, and everyone works together to move forward. As a result, teams become more agile, more adaptable, and more creative in solving problems. By fostering this culture, leaders play a pivotal role. They set the tone for what is acceptable and encouraged within the team. When leaders model collaboration by openly asking for help, they communicate that it is not only acceptable but essential for success. It becomes part of the team's DNA. Leaders who encourage their team members to ask for help demonstrate vulnerability and humility, qualities that build trust and foster a more open, communicative atmosphere. It signals that collaboration is not a buzzword, but a way of working, a mindset that values input from every team member regardless of title or experience. Leaders who make asking for help a regular part of the conversation create an environment where others feel comfortable doing the same, without fear of being judged or overlooked. Asking for help also helps to develop deeper connections between team members. It gives individuals the opportunity to showcase their strengths, to share knowledge, and to learn from one another. This deepens the sense of community within a team. People begin to rely on each other, not just for help with specific tasks, but for insights and perspectives that help them grow in their own roles. They know they can count on one another for support, guidance, and feedback. The trust built through asking for help becomes the bedrock upon which strong collaborative relationships are built. These relationships are key to fostering long-term success. As team members support one another, they strengthen their sense of purpose and commitment to the shared goals of the group. Leadership is often associated with strength, authority, and decisiveness. However, one of the most impactful qualities a leader can demonstrate is the ability to ask for help. When leaders openly seek assistance, they not only show vulnerability, but also set a powerful example for others to follow. This creates a ripple effect, influencing the culture of an organization or community by normalizing the act of asking for help. In doing so, leaders help to cultivate an environment of collaboration, trust, and shared responsibility. It's a demonstration that leadership isn't about having all the answers, but knowing how to ask the right questions and tapping into the collective wisdom of those around you. As a leader, your actions speak louder than words. When you consistently show that asking for help is a strength, it sends a clear message to your team that it is okay to not have all the answers. It fosters an atmosphere where vulnerability is seen as an opportunity for growth, not a weakness. People are more likely to follow suit when they see their leader engaging with others in this way. It helps to dismantle the myth that leadership requires perfection or omniscience. Instead, it encourages an open, transparent, and supportive culture where everyone feels empowered to ask for help when needed. The willingness of a leader to reach out for assistance demonstrates humility and confidence. Humility because it acknowledges the need for others, and confidence because it signals a trust in the collective abilities of the team. By leading through example, a leader creates a sense of safety and openness within the team. Employees, colleagues, or team members who see their leader asking for help are more likely to do the same. This behavior shifts the focus from individual achievement to shared success. People begin to view asking for help not as an admission of inadequacy, but as an essential part of the collaborative process. It becomes a natural part of the culture, where no one feels isolated or burdened by the expectation that they should know everything or handle every challenge alone. As the leader sets this tone, others feel less pressure to maintain a facade of perfection and more freedom to engage with one another in meaningful, supportive ways. When leaders ask for help, they also send a message that everyone's contribution is valuable. Leadership isn't about having all the answers, but rather about knowing how to facilitate conversations, ask the right questions, and gather input from the team. Leaders who actively seek diverse perspectives create an environment of inclusivity, where each person's voice matters. This approach demonstrates that leadership is a partnership, not a solo endeavor. The leader's role is to guide, motivate, and bring people together to solve problems collaboratively. By seeking help, leaders not only benefit from the expertise of others, but also show their team that everyone's input is respected and needed. Asking for help as a leader can also serve as an important tool for problem solving. No single person has all the answers, and when leaders recognize this, they open themselves up to a broader range of ideas and solutions. By reaching out to others, leaders demonstrate that they value the input of those with different experiences, skills, and perspectives. This diversity of thought can lead to more creative, innovative solutions that wouldn't emerge in a siloed environment. When a leader engages the team in problem solving, they cultivate an atmosphere where collaboration thrives and where the collective intelligence of the group is harnessed for the benefit of the organization. Moreover, when leaders ask for help, they show that they trust their team. Trust is a cornerstone of effective leadership, and it's built by demonstrating confidence in others' abilities. By asking for help, leaders create an opportunity for their team members to step up, showcase their expertise, and contribute meaningfully to the organization's success. This fosters a sense of ownership and pride in the work that is being done. People are more likely to invest in the team's success when they feel trusted and valued by their leader. But this trust also strengthens relationships within the team, making it easier to navigate challenges, communicate openly, and work collaboratively toward shared goals. The ripple effect of a leader asking for help extends beyond just the team or organization. It can also influence the broader culture of the community, company, or even the industry in which the organization operates. Leaders who embrace vulnerability and actively seek support help to shift the narrative about what it means to be strong. Strength is no longer defined by knowing everything or doing everything yourself. It's defined by the ability to engage with others, build relationships, and tap into the collective power of a team. When this mindset becomes ingrained in an organization's culture, it encourages a more cooperative, open, and resilient environment where people are empowered to contribute their best work without fear of judgment or failure. Asking for help is not just a one-time event or a singular act. It's a behavior that, when practiced consistently, becomes part of the organizational DNA. It becomes embedded in the culture, shaping how people interact with one another and how problems are approached. Teams learn that it's okay to lean on each other, share challenges, and seek support. This culture of mutual respect and collaboration is vital for long-term success. Organizations that embrace the idea of collective effort and shared responsibility are better equipped to adapt to change, navigate obstacles, and innovate. Leaders who lead by example and asking for help set the stage for a sustainable, supportive, and successful environment where trust and collaboration are the driving forces behind progress. Asking for help is not an isolated or occasional act. It must become a regular practice if it is to truly cultivate trust. Like any other meaningful behavior, consistency plays a crucial role in strengthening relationships and building trust over time. The more often we engage in the act of asking for help, the more we demonstrate humility, openness, and a willingness to connect with others. Trust isn't something that is built in a single conversation or moment of vulnerability. Rather, it is nurtured through the continuous repetition of actions that show our reliability, our respect for others, and our commitment to growth. When asking for help becomes a consistent part of how we interact with those around us, it creates a solid foundation of trust that endures. Trust is not a one-time transaction or an event. It's the result of consistent, reliable actions over time. When we ask for help regularly, it becomes part of how we engage with others, making it clear that we value their insights and recognize the importance of collaboration. It signals to others that we're not trying to hide behind a facade of perfection, but are instead committed to learning, growing, and working together. As we continue to ask for help, we reinforce the idea that seeking assistance is not a sign of weakness, but a natural part of how we approach challenges and opportunities. This consistency of behavior shows that we are dependable and authentic in our intentions, which deepens the trust people have in us. The act of asking for help repeatedly also builds a sense of safety. When people see that we are consistently open to receiving help, they begin to feel more comfortable offering assistance as well. Trust is a reciprocal exchange, and the more we demonstrate our willingness to lean on others, the more likely they are to reciprocate. They understand that their expertise, their insights, and their contributions are valued, and they feel more confident in stepping up when we need support. Over time, this reciprocal trust becomes ingrained in the relationship, creating a sense of mutual respect and understanding that allows for even more effective collaboration. Consistency in asking for help also reinforces the idea that we do not see ourselves as above others. It removes any power dynamics or hierarchies that might otherwise exist, instead fostering a culture of equality and shared responsibility. When we ask for help without hesitation, we level the playing field, acknowledging that no one person has all the answers and that everyone has something valuable to contribute. This approach helps to break down any barriers that might hinder honest communication or collaboration. By regularly demonstrating humility, we encourage others to do the same, creating an environment where everyone feels empowered to seek assistance and offer their support. Moreover, consistently asking for help builds a deeper connection between people. Each time we reach out for assistance, we create an opportunity for a shared experience, a moment where someone is able to contribute their knowledge, their skills, or their time to help us achieve a goal. These moments of connection accumulate over time, weaving a stronger bond between individuals. Trust is solidified when people know they can count on one another, not just in times of crisis, but as part of an ongoing, day-to-day practice. The more frequently we ask for help and the more consistent we are in doing so, the more we strengthen the relationship, making it more resilient to challenges that may arise. Consistency in asking for help also signals a commitment to continuous improvement. People respect those who are genuinely interested in learning and growing, and the act of seeking help shows that we are not complacent with the status quo. It's an indication that we are striving to be better, to improve, and to evolve. This commitment to self-improvement builds trust because it demonstrates a willingness to put in the effort to do better, not just for ourselves, but for the people we are working with. It shows that we take the process seriously, that we are dedicated to personal and professional growth, and that we value the input of others in this journey. Over time, the repetition of asking for help becomes part of the culture we create with others. It shifts the focus from individualism to a collective mindset, where the success of one person is intertwined with the success of the group. As trust builds, so does the collective strength of the team. People are more likely to contribute their ideas, share their knowledge, and collaborate when they know they are working in an environment where asking for help is not only accepted, but encouraged. This creates a positive feedback loop where trust begets more trust and cooperation becomes a fundamental part of how we work together. Furthermore, when asking for help becomes a consistent practice, it establishes a sense of transparency and honesty. People appreciate authenticity, and when we ask for help regularly, we signal that we are not trying to hide our shortcomings or pretend that we have all the answers. Instead, we embrace our vulnerability and recognize that asking for help is a normal, necessary part of life. This transparency fosters a sense of openness, where others feel more comfortable being themselves, sharing their challenges, and asking for help in return. It creates a safe space for people to be honest about their needs, which leads to better communication and deeper trust. Consistency in asking for help also ensures that trust is not a fleeting or superficial thing. It isn't built on a single instance of vulnerability, but rather on an ongoing practice of openness and mutual respect. This kind of trust takes time to cultivate, but once it is established, it becomes a bedrock on which strong, lasting relationships are built. People who consistently see us asking for help know that we are reliable, grounded in humility, and committed to working together. This consistency provides a sense of security, knowing that we are not just asking for help when it's convenient or when things are difficult, but that it is an integral part of how we interact and collaborate with others on a day-to-day basis. When we ask for help, the act of listening is just as important, if not more so, than the request itself. Trust is built not only when we speak up and ask for assistance, but when we also demonstrate a genuine interest in the responses and perspectives of others. Listening is the cornerstone of meaningful communication, and it plays a vital role in deepening trust and strengthening relationships. When we listen actively, we convey a message of respect, gratitude, and appreciation for the thoughts and insights that others share with us. This is not a passive act, but an active choice to engage, understand, and learn from those around us. The power of listening lies in its ability to create a space where people feel valued. When someone offers their help or shares their expertise, they are entrusting us with something personal, their time, their knowledge, and their perspective. By truly listening, we acknowledge the importance of their contribution. We show that we are not just going through the motions or seeking a quick solution, but that we care about what they have to say. This simple act can transform a casual conversation into a meaningful exchange. It demonstrates that we recognize the worth of others and are committed to understanding their point of view. Listening is also a powerful way to build empathy. It allows us to step into someone else's shoes and see the world from their perspective. When we ask for help and listen attentively, we invite others to share not just their advice, but also their experiences, emotions, and values. These deeper layers of communication strengthen the connection between people and foster mutual understanding. We begin to recognize the unique qualities that each person brings to the table, and this recognition is essential for building strong, trusting relationships. It shows that we are not only interested in solving a problem, but in the person behind the advice, in their story and their journey. Trust is deepened when we listen actively, as it reinforces the idea that we are open, receptive, and willing to engage with others on a deeper level. Active listening is not just about hearing the words being spoken, but about understanding the intent, the emotions, and the nuances behind those words. It requires our full attention, undivided focus, and a willingness to understand what is being communicated. By listening this way, we validate the speaker's thoughts and feelings. And this validation creates a sense of trust and security. People are more likely to offer their help when they feel heard and respected, knowing that their input will be taken seriously and appreciated. In addition to fostering trust, listening also encourages collaboration. When we listen carefully, we create an environment where ideas can flow freely and openly. People feel more comfortable contributing when they know they will be heard. They feel safe sharing their insights, offering solutions, and expressing concerns without fear of being dismissed or ignored. When we ask for help and then listen with the intent to understand, we open the door to deeper collaboration, where every participant feels that their voice matters and their contribution is valued. This in turn leads to more creative, innovative solutions as diverse perspectives are brought together and explored. Listening also demonstrates gratitude. When we listen attentively, we show that we are grateful for the time and effort someone is dedicating to helping us. It's easy to overlook the significance of someone else's contribution, especially if we are focused solely on our own needs. But when we listen with an open mind and heart, we recognize that the other person is giving something of themselves, and we respond with appreciation. Gratitude builds trust because it acknowledges the effort that someone has put into helping us. It signals that we value not only the advice they offer, but also their willingness to support us. When we ask for help and listen closely, we also open ourselves to learning. This is where the true value of asking for help lies. It's not just about getting the answer to a specific problem. It's about learning from the person offering assistance, expanding our own understanding, and growing as individuals. When we listen attentively, we show that we are willing to grow and evolve. We are open to new ideas, new ways of thinking, and new ways of doing things. This openness to learning strengthens the relationship because it communicates a desire to improve and become better, not just as individuals, but as part of a larger community. Additionally, the power of listening is that it encourages ongoing communication. When we take the time to listen, we create a foundation for future conversations. People are more likely to engage with us in the future if they feel that their input is respected and valued. This creates a cycle of trust and cooperation where people are motivated to continue offering help and guidance because they know that their voice will be heard. Over time, this strengthens the relationships between individuals, creating a network of mutual support and collaboration. When we ask for help, the motivation behind our request is just as important as the act itself. It's essential to understand that asking for help isn't about offloading responsibilities or relinquishing control over a situation. In fact, it's quite the opposite. The true value of asking for help lies in the connection it fosters between people. It's about recognizing that you don't have all the answers, that others possess unique knowledge and skills, and that collaboration is the key to achieving something greater than what any individual could accomplish alone. Trust is built when we move beyond a mindset of control and see each other as equals, working side by side toward a common goal. The act of asking for help can sometimes be misunderstood. People may fear that by asking for help they are giving up some level of authority or control. This fear of losing control often stems from a desire to maintain independence, avoid vulnerability, or preserve a sense of competence. However, true leadership and growth come not from maintaining control at all costs, but from knowing when and how to engage others in meaningful ways. Asking for help is not an admission of failure. Rather, it's a recognition that collaboration leads to stronger outcomes. The intention behind your request should not be about delegating tasks to others just so you can step back. It should be about creating an opportunity for others to contribute, share their expertise, and be part of a larger effort. When we ask for help, we acknowledge the strengths and capabilities of others. We see them as valuable partners in achieving a common goal, not just as tools to help us offload our work. This shift in perspective is what makes asking for help a powerful act. It signals that we are open to others' ideas, willing to listen, and invested in working together toward a shared vision. This approach builds trust because it removes the barriers of hierarchy and allows people to contribute from a place of equality. It becomes less about exerting control and more about creating a unified, collaborative environment where each person's input is valued. Furthermore, asking for help creates a sense of interdependence where individuals recognize their roles within the larger context. We often think of success as something we achieve through our own efforts, but the reality is that we are constantly supported by others in ways we may not always acknowledge. Whether it's the support of colleagues, friends, or mentors, the collective knowledge and skills we share with each other create a stronger, more resilient foundation for success. When we ask for help, we empower others to show up as their true selves, to bring their talents, experiences, and perspectives to the table. This not only strengthens the immediate task, but also enriches the process of collaboration, fostering a sense of shared ownership and mutual respect. The beauty of asking for help is that it opens the door to genuine connection. Rather than operating in isolation, we invite others to be part of the journey. In doing so, we create opportunities to bond, to learn, and to grow together. This is where the true power of connection lies. It's not about simply achieving a goal. It's about the relationships we build along the way. These relationships are grounded in trust, and trust is the bedrock of any successful collaboration. When people feel trusted and valued, they are more likely to contribute openly, share their insights, and work toward a common goal with enthusiasm and commitment. This approach to asking for help also helps dismantle the notion of competition. In many environments, there can be an unspoken pressure to be the best, to stand out, and to prove ourselves. However, when we ask for help and see it as a means of connection rather than a weakness, we begin to shift the focus from individual achievement to collective success. Everyone has something to offer, and by valuing each person's contribution, we create an environment where people feel empowered to collaborate without fear of judgment or rivalry. When we let go of the need to control and embrace the strength that comes from collaboration, we foster an atmosphere of trust, creativity, and innovation. Moreover, asking for help allows us to acknowledge our own limitations, and this vulnerability is a crucial part of building authentic connections. When we show that we don't have all the answers, it humanizes us. It signals to others that it's okay to be imperfect, to ask for support, and to rely on others. This openness strengthens the bonds between people and fosters a culture of empathy. Trust is built not by showing perfection, but by showing our real selves, including our imperfections, and by supporting one another through challenges. At its core, asking for help is about building a community. It's about recognizing that we are all connected, that our successes are intertwined, and that we are stronger together. When we ask for help, we demonstrate that we value others not just for what they can do for us, but for who they are and what they bring to the table. We create a space where each individual's voice is heard and where everyone feels a sense of belonging and purpose. When trust is built on the foundation of connection rather than control, it creates a powerful dynamic. People feel more comfortable sharing their ideas, offering support, and contributing to the collective success. This creates a cycle of collaboration where each person is motivated to engage and invest in the process because they know they are working towards something meaningful together. In the end, it's not about maintaining control, it's about creating something greater than what we could achieve on our own. It's about connection, mutual respect, and the trust that emerges when we work together toward a common goal. In conclusion, asking for help is not merely an act of seeking assistance, but a powerful tool for building trust, fostering collaboration, and creating meaningful connections. Throughout this speech, we've explored how vulnerability, consistency, empathy, and listening all intertwine when we make the act of asking for help a regular practice. As leaders, colleagues, and individuals, it's essential to embrace the understanding that asking for help is a strength, not a weakness. By asking for help consistently, we create an environment where trust is nurtured over time, where collaboration becomes second nature, and where people feel empowered to contribute their best selves. Trust is built in the small, repeated actions we take, not in grand gestures or one-off moments. And through this consistent practice of humility and openness, we foster stronger, more resilient relationships. Ultimately, the more we ask for help, the more we deepen our connections with others, reinforce our collective goals, and lay the foundation for lasting success built on trust. Let us lead by example, embrace vulnerability, and create cultures where asking for help is seen as an opportunity to grow together. So, as we go forward, I encourage you to embrace the power of asking for help. Don't be afraid to show vulnerability. Don't shy away from the opportunity to collaborate. In doing so, you'll not only build trust within your teams and communities, but you'll foster an environment where everyone has the chance to contribute, learn, and grow together. Thank you.